Alright, so a little equipment review here. Well, my first one of these, so give me a break. That's the Massey Ferguson 2946 round baler. I bought this at the end of the season last year. I think I've probably got somewhere between 350 400 bales on it already. Still new. So then you can see the paint on the rollers are just now starting to wear off, so that's how little it's been used. And on the inside of the drum there, paint just still starting to wear off. So I was out baling with it yesterday. The Bermuda was drying really fast, so I didn't want to do the review before I went out there. So I went ahead and baled it and figured I'd just do it before I cleaned it out. So I did not opt for the solid wind guard. I didn't like the visibility restriction on it, and for the type of hay I do, I was told that this is probably the better option. And it was cheaper too, so I can't beat that with a stick. And inside here, you got your normal pickup tines, then you got your augers for shoulders, and then you got your stuffer. And I'm told that this is the same pickup they use on their big square baler. This baler does have the twine option, however I never use it. Probably going to take the twine boxes off, because as you can see, it really does nothing for me except for collect dirt. So I'm probably going to take those off. Pardon the mess, I'm getting ready to clean it out. I just got done baling yesterday evening. It was late and I didn't want to deal with it. It's got the big 80 grade chain. This is a silage baler. Clutch automatically disengages when you raise the rear gate. Disengages the PTO to keep the belts tight. Yeah, pretty simple baler. Double hydraulic cylinders for density. Makes a really tight bale. I like it, and it's fast too. Bales that I'm going to sell 5 foot, because that's what most people want. But ones I'm going to store, I'll go ahead and roll them, 66 inches, just because it saves me time. But the tie cycle on this, or the wrap cycle on this, is right at 25 seconds, and it's pretty consistent too. One thing I did want to show you, the service on this is awesome. You got your bearings right here. Then your door, I'm probably buried under here. No, it's up there. The door pivot, grease points are right there. The belly pan right here, sometimes you need to take that off, and it's pretty easy to get that off. You just loosen those bolts and pop it right up. And when I get done cleaning it out, I'll show you the net wrap. It's up there. I don't think I'll ever have a baler without these tires. I know they're big, and makes the baler really wide while you're traveling down the road. And this is a 4 foot by 6 baler. I think it's over 9 foot wide with the tires. It does make it a little cumbersome, but it's not too bad. It's just mainly a highway issue when you go down the road. You could actually hang. These tires are so awesome because you can be cruising down the road at 25 miles an hour, which is top speed on the tractor, and then hang one wheel off the road for a tractor trailer or something, and you don't even feel it go off the road. And part of that's because this baler does have suspension on it. This right here is a torsion axle. It does have suspension. Gives it a nice ride in the field, nice ride on the road, especially on some of these roads where they just went out and tarred and spread gravel over top of a gravel road. Didn't really pay any attention to how they were building it. They suck. On this side, you get your pressure gauge. and you can see it when you're riding in the baler or riding the tractor with the baler. And on this door, you got your hydraulic density setting, computer. Wasn't really crazy about the computer being back here, but so far I haven't had any issues with it. Pickup drive, roller drive. Let's see what else is back here. And again, on this side, you got your grease ports, which are awesome. And also 2 more. I did like that they don't have springs on here. That doesn't look good. See that? I have to look into that, see what's going on up there. I wonder if it's like that on the other side. I haven't really noticed. Again, I think I'll probably take that twine box off. Although it does collect dirt. I don't know if you guys watch Sour's Cattle Company, but he's got one of these in the 5-foot model. And I watched his review of it before I bought it. And this is where you access your pickup drive, and your cam bearings can be changed right here. Pretty simple, quick. It does have spring mount pickup tines. They are not the rubber boot ones, which I had on the Vermeer, and I didn't really like them because they tended to pop right off. These, you know, you can see where, you know, I've got a couple of them. You know, they're not in a straight line anymore. But that's pretty typical. But they flex. They're not breaking. And then here you got your drive line. This baler's pretty easy to maintain, especially since I don't use the twine. I never intend to. The grease ports on your drive line are easily accessible. And you got 3 or 4 in here, or 1 here, 2 in here. And you got your normal grease port for it right here, for your slip ring that's in there. Always make sure you grease that every time, because it's just plastic on metal. So, and then I use the hammer strap on the tractor just for the baler. I do have the kit that allows me to use the flat drawbar, but when the Massey Ferguson AGCO hay specialist came to set my baler up for me on the tractor on delivery day, I kind of like this setup. You know, I mean, I'm sure it holds it just as secure with the strap that comes for the baler, which I have in the barn. I just don't want to put it on here. To me, I like this better. And this is how the hay specialist set up the baler for this tractor. So I think, you know, it's a 24mm bolt on the underside of here, 2 of them. When I'm done baling, I drop the baler, I pop those 2 bolts out. It takes probably 30 seconds tops. And then I keep this in my farm truck with the toolkit and everything, so it's not like I haven't had an issue with it yet. And I've bailed several times, so I kind of like it. Don't know why, I just do. Yeah, so I mean, it's a simple baler, and it runs, you know, the diamond we've built. I have seen on Hay Kings on Facebook, there was a dude that was he's out in eastern New Mexico, and they grow like some weird blend of Johnson grass and Sudan grass, and they wait to cut it until it's like 6-7 foot high. And that stuff it's kind of like corn with no ears of corn on it. So it's a rough crop to bale. I mean, we have Johnson grass in some of our fields here. I don't have any issues with it, but I don't let it get 6-7 feet tall either. And I don't have all Johnson grass. You know, I have a little patch here and there. But if you read the owner's manual, it tells you to start the bale at a 4 to 6 mile an hour speed, I believe. which in this tractor is high 1. I have actually started the bale at, 6.5 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour, no issues. But I know that guy, Massey, came out and hold on, let me go around the back, on the starter roller, which is really doesn't have, but on this roller right here, they came out and put rubber on there, and that seems to have fixed his issue. And obviously, they didn't charge him for that. But just want to be fair and honest. That is an issue I know of, but I've never had any issues with this baler. I did have, at the beginning of the season, I went and bought a roll of Cordex net wrap, and it was splitting right down the center of the bale. And I thought it might be the rubber gauge wheel on the bottom of the net roll system, but it didn't line up with where the net was. So it was kind of baffling me. I pulled probably 50 to 100 foot of the net wrap off, cut it off, reloaded it, and then it was fine for 10 12 bales, and then it started doing it again, but it was in a different spot. So I went through the net system looking for any burrs or anything. Went through the rolls looking for burrs, didn't find any. And then I was like, well, maybe it's a bad roll of net wrap, so I swapped it out with John Deere 48-inch edge-to-edge net wrap, and the problem went away. So the only thing I could deduce is that it was a bad roll of Cordex. And, for $275 for a 9,000 foot roll, I'll never buy another roll. You get $350 for the John Deere roll, and it's a 12,000 foot roll. So $75 more, and you're getting 3,000 foot more of net wrap, and it's a better quality net wrap. And it runs fine in this baler, just so you know. And I got a John Deere dealer right down the road from us. So you may ask why I didn't buy a John Deere. I did go and look at a 459 and a 469 silage special John Deere, but never could get them to get back to me. They're one of these John Deere chain dealers, and it seems like since John Deere started going more toward those, you lost a lot of customer service. And Massey dealer is still a standalone dealer. He's not a chain guy, and he actually gets back to me when I need something. So guess who gets my business? But yeah, and he sent his baler tech out here, and he had the AGCO regional hay specialist show up. They set the baler up. I didn't have to do anything but hook it up to the tractor and go bale. And then the hay specialist, Tom Kramer, stayed in the field with me on delivery day while I was baling, just to make sure I didn't have any problems and that the baler was performing right. And I couldn't ask for better service, And so far the baler's done well for me. I like it. It's fast, what I want it to be. I typically don't bale that fast. I usually bale 6 to 8 miles an hour because I think it makes a nicer, tighter bale. But I was out running rain with it at the end of the last season, and I was baling at 12 miles an hour with it, and it did just fine. The only thing I will say is the outer probably 6 inches of the bale looks a little ragged when you're baling fast. That could be something that I'm doing because, hell, this is my second round baler, and I've never had one this big, and I've never had one that was capable of baling like this one was. I had a Vermeer 5410 before this. That thing was a beast. Not in a good way. So, I made a hell of an upgrade in my eyes. Okay, so now we got her all blown out. I'll show you the net wrap system. The other thing I will tell you is I did not opt for the kicker. I have a lot of hills, and I didn't want to send one through a fence or into a pond. So I went with the bell ramp. I really like this. I've actually dumped the bale with the bale rolling uphill, and this keeps it out of the way of the gate. So I really like it. But we'll push this down So we get closer in here to the net wrap system. Net wrap system is really simple. You got the brake bar that comes over. If you look right down in there, to load a new rolling net, just drop the net here, tuck your tail in right there, close the brake bar, you're done. I've got it set up to run 48, but I think it can run up to 52. You got these spacers on the side, one bolt under here. Just move the spacer, and they're on both sides. And that's it. The brake is electrically actuated. Not the brake, but I mean the net wrap. Sorry, blowing sand was really dusty. You can take the 2 pins out of the side over here. The belly pan drops down just like that. Take the 2 pins out, one down there, one up here, and it opens up. Gives you pretty good access. So yeah, and that's about it. If I missed anything you want to see or me to go over, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.